In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use Thymeleaf in your web development process. Thymeleaf is a modern server-side JavaScript template, right, for web development. And the last time we left off with the project, we created some routes without using any template engine. So in this video, we're going to refactor the existing code to use some template engine. And the template engine that we choose is going to be Thymeleaf. Okay, so let's begin by seeing how we can replace our main page, which right now looks like this, right, with a template. Okay, so to refactor the code to use the Thymeleaf template engine, we just basically return a Thymeleaf instance and passing in a model and view variable, right, and then this variable takes a model and the name of the view. So in this case, we call it index. And the model is just basically a hash map of string to object parameters. Okay, so now we can remove the original string and then let's run it and see what happens. Okay, so everything looks okay, so let's go hit the web page. And then here we're going to see a bunch of errors because what's going to happen is that it cannot find this index.html file to render, right? So the way that we fix that is basically by creating a templates folder in your source directory, right? And we need to add an HTML file called index.html. And now we can just paste our hello, welcome to the web application in the body of the HTML. Okay, so now we go to the web page, and there, now we go back to the way we had it before with everything working, and we are now using the Thymeleaf template engine to create this model. So now we're using this Thymeleaf template engine to render our index HTML page, which is stored right here. Now, the one good thing about Thymeleaf is that you can actually have somebody else design the web page for you and then incorporate that into your projects. So let me show you an example. Right here, I have a form which is outside of this project, right? And right now it's on my desktop, right? So if I were to copy this HTML and then place it into my templates folder, so called profile form .html, and then I just replace that content with this content, and then you can see from going here, you can see it's this form that is rendered, right? But right now it's very static. There's no nothing dynamic about it, right? So part of the web application is to make everything dynamic. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go create a route that will bring up our form. Create a route for profile, and then here we're going to create this profile form. So the way that this works is you basically specify the name of the HTML file that you want to use as a template without the extension .html, right? And if we restart it, right, we will have to go now to this profile URI, and here this is how we render this template. So let's put in something dynamic. So let's say if I want to put the first name of the person, so let's say John, and then Smith as the last name, and then I want to put the email say johnsmith@gmail.com. All right, so the model basically holds variables that you can use in your template. So in this case, I defined 3 variables, right, or parameters, right, which has a name of f name, l name, and email, right? And I'm going to show you how you can use that inside this profile form. All right, so in this HTML, what you can do to make your form dynamic is when I have an input field, which corresponds to this first name input field, right? I can actually parameterize this field with the values from the model. Okay, so Thymeleaf had this define these syntaxes. So th is for Thymeleaf, and then if you put in a colon value, right, you can actually parameterize this expression, right? So this expression actually takes from the model the variable called f name, right? So this is actually just a Thymeleaf syntax. So if you want to learn more about the syntax, you can actually go to the Thymeleaf website. Okay, so let me give you another example. So let's say I just say this is an attribute of the input field. So value would specify what's the current value. So let's say I want to name this dough, right? And if I was to restart it, you can see what happens. Okay, so here the first input field is going to take it from the model, take the value from the model, and that's John. But here, the second last name field is called Doe, but I specify Smith as the last name. So it did not use that because right now it's not telling Thymeleaf to make this a parameter, right? So the way that we make any attribute a parameter is basically by prefixing that attribute name with the th. So in this case, I'm gonna say the value is, it should be last name. Okay, so let's see what happens. Because currently the value is Doe. That's the default value. So now if I restart and reload it, right, so here now I can see Smith. Okay, and then finally we just, for completeness, we will also include the email. So there you have it. That's how you're going to use Thymeleaf in your projects. Now Thymeleaf has a lot of other functions that you can actually study in their documentation. Right, so it has many different functions. For example, you can have predefined messages. You can embed variables. Right, they also have conditional logic, where you can display certain things based on conditions. Right, so Thymeleaf is a very powerful template engine, and I use it in my program, so I hope that you will too. All right, thank you for watching.